Are we set?
It says it's streaming.
It says waiting.
Oh, so we're getting a little lag. Yeah. But it looks like the audio.
You want me to look at it?
Is the audio picking up?
No, nothing's picking up. It's sitting there waiting.
Send the horse.
Well, it used to be, but I don't know about tonight. Yeah, it's coming through now.
Okay, good.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Must have been a lag.
Yeah.
Are we on?
Yep.
Okay. We will open the meeting at 6:17. And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please.
Cullis,
Yes?
Grosvenor,
Here.
McKinney,
Here.
Hutton. Here. Turpinning,
Here.
Wendell.
He is absent. I have a note here that says to please excuse Daniel Wendell. He's had a medical emergency in his family. Chair would entertain a motion to excuse.
I make a motion to excuse.
Tim Turpinning, so moved.
Second.
McCanny seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Agenda changes or approval of the agenda. I want to amend the agenda under old business. It should have downtown compliance and HDC guidelines.
Cullis.
What? No,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm waiting for a second.
Oh, I second.
Okay. Amendment by Cullis, second by Turpinning. To approve the agenda as amended. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We don't have to do a roll call because we're not spending money. Now we have approval of the minutes from March 13th. Are there any additions or deletions? Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
I move to accept the minutes.
Motion by Turpinning, support.
Second.
Grosvenor. Did I get the pronunciation right? Okay. His last night and I get it right. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. You'll notice on the minutes, under old business is status of HDC guidelines. That should have been carried over to this agenda. Until that topic is done, it stays on the agenda. Just as a heads up. Statement of purpose. The mission of the Holly Historic District Commission is to safeguard the heritage of the village of Holly by preserving the historic district in the village that reflects the elements of the village's history, architecture, archaeology, engineering, or culture. The goal of the commission's work is to stabilize and improve property values in the historic district and the surrounding areas, foster civic beauty, strengthen the local economy, and promote the use of historic districts for the education, pleasure, and welfare of the citizens of Holly. So I just want to make this statement after that statement. When we talk about protecting the property values of the homes in the historic district, we did an extensive remodel on the house on Maple Street, on the corner of Maple and Center, and the historic district worked with the homeowners several years ago. I know Mr. McCanny was on the board. Were you on the board then?
Yep.
And that house turned out beautiful, and we brought it back from a house that had been covered in the steel siding and brought all the architectural accoutrements back so you can see them, the style of the porch, all of that happened. That house went on the market just a couple of months ago at $319,000. It sold for $355,000 when the bidding was done. The house is beautiful. They've done a great job. McCanny Home is another example of a home that we worked with from the steel siding and brought all that history back. So it really does work, these homes in the historic district, when they're done like this. And it was a person that was looking for a historic home and fell in love with the home. There were several bids on that home, and it went to the highest bidder. And we have a new resident in town in one of our historic homes. So I just want those of you on the commission and the public to know it really, really works. Next, we'll go to public comment. Members of the public can address the commission once recognized by the chairperson. Comments are limited to a maximum of 4 minutes for items not on the agenda. Commission may extend this time by up to an additional 4 minutes by a majority vote for items on the agenda. Comments may be made after the commission discussion prior to commission vote. Prior to addressing the commission, members of the public shall state their name and address for the record. Anyone wish public comment? None appearing, I'll move to old business. First of all, let me state for the record, our meeting started late tonight because we typically meet on the second Thursday of the month, and this meeting was scheduled for August 7th, and a couple of our members didn't realize that tonight was the night, and even myself, I wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for my wife to say, that meeting's tonight. I got the packet and put it there, but I wasn't ready until my wife said, you got a meeting to go to, and it's right here, so that's why we got the late start. That being said, I amended the agenda under old business to put downtown compliance. I didn't realize Mr. Price was here when we walked in. I didn't realize he was going to leave. So Kurt, you might be at a handicap without him here. I know that you know that this topic's been in front of us. We have a building downtown that did some remodeling. They didn't do it properly. They didn't apply for an application. And it's their second time doing that. So they can't even use the excuse, I didn't know. I brought it up at the time they were doing the work. We've not had meetings, and I have not heard what's going on with that property. At the same time, we have the building on the other corner of Battle Alley, excuse me. And we've been talking about that one for over 3 years that did work without compliance. So I wanted to bring those two things up without Mr. Price here. I don't know if you're prepared to answer any of that.
I have not had any recent discussions on this. I know, unfortunately, when we met a couple weeks ago briefly, I wish we would have brought it up then, Mr. Cullis.
Well,
We were here, and I have not had an opportunity, and I was out of the state, I believe, for the last meeting we had on vacation, so I apologize for that. I know we have had some discussions. I know there's been some nuances with one of those buildings changing ownership in that process and some other issues. So I certainly can catch up on it and we can follow through. I know Mr. Price and you have spoke, and I believe the village attorney has been talk to about that as well.
Okay, that I don't
That
know.
I cannot guarantee. I thought there was a conversation. I would have to confirm that. But I know Mr. Price is aware of it, of the situations, and we have had some discussions.
Okay. When I had the meeting with you, it was on a separate topic,
Right.
and I just expected it to still be on the agenda. So it wasn't until I saw the agenda that it was left off. So, but
And
thank,
I had not seen the agenda until today, quite frankly. I've been busy and hadn't had an opportunity to look at the
Okay.
agenda.
so, well, and as you know, I didn't see it today either, only because my wife said, you got a meeting tonight. All right, the second item under old business is the Historic District Guidelines. Mr. McCanny, you had a topic you wanted to bring up there?
Yeah, so two things on the guidelines. I have the errors or the changes from the SHPO modified into the document. And I kind of think and feel that, well, the area on the solar energy generating technologies and way in the back here, solar collectors, there was some like wording discussions on it, how it's written and should it actually be in here, or should we beef it up or slow it down as far as compliances?
Did she have a specific?
I don't have that tag here, actually picked up the wrong printout, so. But the other, as I was looking at it and reading it, I'm much older than that now, and I don't like it anymore. But, I would have done things differently, and so I was wondering if we should open it back up to the commission
So
and
this is,
give it a quick read over, or?
this is one of the problems we're having with this commission, and the fact that we don't have meetings for months on end. And when Mr. Price was here, and with our new village president, April Brandon, I met with them. I asked them what their commitment was to this, and I said, because we can't function if we don't have regular meetings. I think we've had 3 or 4 in a row that have been canceled. And what happens is exactly here, you get back here and try to remember what you were doing 4 months ago, or 5 months ago. And we've been working on these guidelines and on the downtown compliance issues. And they're not little issues, they're important issues, because we've held many businesses to the standards. And then we've got 2 businesses that just did what they wanted to do without applying. And it's not fair to the community, it's not fair to the rest of the businesses that are stepping up and doing what they need to do. With this, we've been working on this for 2 years, but we've had so few meetings over those 2 years that it's
Well,
hard
we've
to.
lost a lot of people also. I was looking in here, there's only 3 of us that started this, back in the day.
Yeah,
The rest have moved on or left,
or passed away, Bill DeSessa passed,
yes.
Kari stepped down. We lost Jim Perkins through the election process.
Yep. Jeremy Watson and Megan Jones.
Yeah.
So,
Was Richard Putz part of this, or had he passed before we?
He passed before.
Okay. So, anyway, we've sent this document to the state. It was approved by the state with some modifications. And we probably then need to get a hold of her and find out what she specifically wants under the solar portion. Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah, I believe so. Well, and then also I think the commission should probably review it.
Look it over. So we need to get copies to everybody?
Yeah.
Is that what we need copies of, or you said you grabbed the wrong thing?
This is the one with all the edit, or all the flags on it to make edits. This isn't the one that's finished.
Okay, so the one that's finished, can you get that to Kurt? I'm
Yes.
sorry, what is your name? Stacy?
Stacy.
Just about the time I didn't think I knew it, I knew it. Then Stacy, we'll get a copy of the one that he's corrected, what the state wanted done. We do have one issue, they didn't like the wording under the solar, and I think the only way for us to fix that without guessing is to contact the state and say, what do you want? That would be my guess on that. But if we get a copy of that, can you get that printed and get it out to the board? Not in the next packet, but just get it out to the board ahead of time, so
Right.
people, well, because it's a short book, so they can have time to go through it and refresh. And do we know when we're gonna get, our additional board members? Is that already, are those people already lined up? You don't know? I can tell by the looks on the face that we don't, okay.
I don't know.
And, all right, so, we'll talk about that as well. All right. Stacy, C-E-Y, C-Y. How do I know that? I have a daughter named Stacy. Okay. That takes care of those two. That'll take us to the general business, which is application 2025-02, application for certificate of appropriateness at 208 South Broad Street. I don't know that they needed to fill out a new application, but we certainly needed to review. At this point, Andy, or are you the spokesperson? I don't know who.
Oh, we're both gonna talk.
Okay,
This is,
whoever wants to go first.
my new builder that I,
Contractor?
contracted with, yes. This is Kyle Stottmeister from Swank.
Stacy, were you able to hear that? Kyle Stott, say that again.
Stottmeister.
Stottmeister.
Okay. She needs that information for the minutes. Who's presenting?
So, and I'm just here to be compliant.
Okay.
I want to, as I explained,
Can you explain to the board what the issue is?
the issue is that the architect plans for the outside of the building, it has been skewed a bit, so I don't know if that's going to impact, what I'm doing now. So I mentioned on the application that the second floor was supposed to have 3 or 4 windows, but it only has 3. I don't know why he did that. And then the back windows, they don't have that brick arch. It's not that the window is arched, it's the brick, correct?
Correct.
So, I know that Kyle has been talking with, Jeremy about being compliant with the drawings and having to update them, or what. So that's, I'm just laying it out there. Is there anything that I need to do, or can I just continue to go forward?
Did you have anything to add?
I was just gonna say that, and the old builder is out of the picture, we cannot get in touch with him, he's not responding at all, so we've been asked to step in and take over and finish the building. The architectural drawings very clearly showed the archtop brick detail over the windows and in several places, both on the side and on the back of the building. This was not done by the previous builder. So we now have fewer windows on the north side, fewer openings on the west side, and so we're trying to figure out, can we just, it was not intentionally done this way. We thought it was gonna be done like the architect had drawn it, which is what you guys approved originally, but now we're stuck with what's there. So the question is, can we get approval to leave it as it's done and just continue with the renovation, or do we need to somehow go back and retrofit these arches over the windows? And is the number of windows going to be an issue?
Okay, so I have a couple of questions. Unfortunately, I did not realize the back of the building was in question, so I didn't get a picture of the back of the building.
I have some that I brought for you guys.
Can you share that with us? I did pass out for the commission this picture that was taken today from the
Oh,
site,
okay.
because the packet doesn't show this, it shows the
It
drawings,
shows- Yes, correct.
right?
I don't know if I have enough for everybody, but I brought.
Well, we can share.
This shows the back and side.
Well, the side I've got, it's the back I didn't.
No, I do have it.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
So, may I ask a question?
Sure.
On the back side, next to the inner door, were there supposed to be those windows? From this picture that has windows?
Oh,
Yes.
no, well,
Well,
that's the power, that's my understanding, right? There weren't windows there.
So no,
She's talking about this.
the three boxes to the right of the lower level door are showing the electrical panels that were on there.
Okay.
There was a window that had been bricked up before the fire. It kept the arch top detail, but it had been bricked in before the fire.
Yeah, I just can't read, the writing is, the print is so
Right.
small, you
I
can't.
do have a larger version of that.
So the window that you're talking about that is missing is the center window,
It's the center one up top, yes.
and the front one on the side.
There's actually multiple windows on the side that are missing. One of them was missing from up above, and several of the smaller windows are missing.
I don't know that those were historically correct or if the previous owner put those in. But what I did change per, the plan were the bottom windows, the first floor windows, the first three there, to match the ones that were up. Because in looking at some of the older pictures, that's what, that was the plan all along.
Okay. Doug, I know you had some questions?
Well, I think if this matter was before my purview as a commissioner, so I'm trying to get a little clarity about how we ended up where we're at. This obviously came before this commission prior,
Yes.
and the plans were approved.
As you see them here.
This that was submitted with your paperwork, is this the plans? I know this
That's
is,
the architectural plan.
yeah, this is what it was, went before it burnt down, correct?
Yeah.
Now, I know in its original form, these were also oblong windows with arches at the bottom, so they were bricked in.
These? So
So
what
at
you
some
talking-
point in the past, the first floor windows were
Yes.
widened, and so the arch was only over one side of that.
Yeah, they were replaced, yeah.
So my understanding that what was approved by you guys originally was to take those main floor windows back to the same configuration they were originally, so that the arch actually made sense over
Right.
that.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I understood that.
Yeah.
I'd like to I was going to ask Mr. Price, what is the proper protocol here with respect to doing this type of work? Do people come to the township or the village to get a permit and then bring their plans in front of this commission? Or do they come in front of the commission, get approved, and then go get the permits?
Okay. You
From a
asked that
practical
question, Mr.
standpoint-
Price, but he's not here. Did you mean Mr. Miskovich?
Well, I guess I'm asking who's over here
Mr.
representing or standing in for Mr. Price. He would be the one I would ask.
As a general rule, when somebody comes in and applies for a building permit or to do something with a building, Jeremy Watson, who is the fire chief as well as the building official, and the folks at the village office handle the permitting and getting the permits in place. As Chief Watson, Jeremy Watson gets the permits in, a lot of times him and I will look at an address and determine whether it needs to come in front of the HDC, and then follow through that way. So the office looks to see if it's in the historic district, as well as Chief Watson and myself look to see if it's in the
But
historic
if it is
district.
within the historic district, then it does come,
Listed in the historic district.
then
yes.
it does come
As a-
before our commission, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
This came from before our commission, and our job is to approve what they're going to do to restore the
Yes, I
building.
understand. You know, there was a lot of funding for this project, correct? A lot of funding,
A lot of funding.
yeah.
My insurance, I haven't gotten the grant money, if that's what you're talking about?
Well, I'm talking, back in April, it was my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but the Governor Whitmer announced Andy's Place of Holly, Michigan as one of 3 communities and businesses included in a 3-community redevelopment project, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
So I was awarded it, but I have not.
1.3 million
No,
total capital investment?
that was, that includes not only insurance money, my money, and the plan for the grant money. Yeah.
Okay.
What you see here cost me $500,000. This building, as it stands today, cost me $500,000 because of the previous builder.
I understand.
Okay.
If you'd let me finish, I appreciate it.
All right.
Just moving, back to the financing real quick. In addition to the state capital investment and insurance, the Michigan Strategic Fund also awarded the developers of this project, right, $433,000 in the form of a RAP grant. Is that correct?
That's me.
That is you, right? Let's see, Chapin Enterprises, Victory 7 LLC, right? Who's Victory?
Me.
You're both?
I have both. The Victory 7 is my business, Andy's Place. Chapin Enterprises is the building.
Okay, so you're the overseer of all of this work, that's correct?
That's,
Okay.
it's my building.
It's also my understanding that the local officials from our manager's office, along with our DDA, would be working with MSF support, also Main Street, Oakland, to assist developers, which would be
Yeah,
you, right?
yes.
To assist them with support, project documents, plans, architecture, all of those things necessary to complete the application. The plans for the project regarding the technical matters and the project documents and plans appear that everybody was involved in this. Everybody talked about this, right? I mean, everybody knew what was going to happen. I'm getting somewhere with this. Much of the funding, when I look at this, those grants, that RAP money and stuff, that is, RAP stands for revitalization and placemaking. It's special financing for place-based infrastructure and development projects. And so that money is given, to you to bring that stuff back to what it was
To
originally.
replace what was
What was,
lost.
correct.
Correct.
The problem I'm having here is, I feel for you and Andy's Place, given all of it that you went through and endured. I can certainly, as a human being, understand the stuff that you went through. But, when I drive around and I clearly see the remnants of our history in this town, the original charm. At the same time, I can also drive around and see equally that throughout time, not everyone has placed the same level of care, concern, and historical preservation. When you look at some buildings that are, some buildings that not, you gotta wonder, like, when did we start making this significant, or realizing that preserving Holly's history is significant, to our legacy and our economic value. It's really all we have. I suppose what, I'm not sure why we're here, really. I'm not sure we're looking at these plans. As a commissioner, here, my fiduciary responsibility is uphold the guidelines, standards, and requirements that are currently in place as promulgated by the U.S. Department of Interior and administered by SHPO, and of course adopted by the village. So, when I look at this, I'm really troubled and conflicted. And I'll leave it right there for me.
Conflicted about what, sir?
Well, I mean, it's clearly not in compliance, the work. You've said it. I mean, your application says, my builder messed this up.
Yeah.
You're the developer, you're the boss. How did this work get so far?
Because I trusted him.
Well,
I allowed him to continue the work. We took this building was almost flattened, and the same bricks are up on that building. So these are the historic bricks.
Andrea, I understand what you're saying, but this is a lot of work to
Yeah.
end up with, there's a lot that was not done in compliance with the original plans that were approved by this commission. There's a lot that did not happen, and you note it right here, and the problem I have is that you're the boss. There's no one else that anybody reports to but you.
Okay.
So, you know,
Well, what will you have me do?
Well,
I'm not
so-
sure about that yet, but that's not what the request asks me about. It just asks me that, are we okay
Well-
with what is and what is not?
I guess
That's why I'm here.
I guess to add to what Doug just said, the first question I have is, and you said it, how did it get this far without somebody not going, where's my window? Where's my front window? I know when people are doing work on my house, I'm usually there, making sure that, I mean, this is a lot of work to be done. And these are some major misses. I don't know from a building standpoint if the village is watching the building to make sure that they're staying with the plans. This went to completion with nobody going, hey, wait a minute. There's a middle and a window's supposed to be in the middle. There's a window supposed to be over here. Now,
And arches.
and arches, and that's a concern. Now, those are all legitimate questions, and I don't know if you have answers for them.
I don't have anything else to say about
Okay.
it.
The issue before the council is, can we accept this? And some of the questions you asked go back to the grantor. I gave you money to do this, and you didn't do it. And my question is, have you started a lawsuit against this builder?
No.
Okay,
We need money for attorneys.
I understand.
All my money is tied up in this. Okay.
I got that. So, the issue for the HDC is, and let's understand, this is new construction, the back of the building and the side. You came and said you were going to do this, and you didn't do that. Now, from the HDC's standpoint, if you had come to us and said, instead of the 4, we're gonna do 3, the reality is, it's the new side of the building. That being said, this HDC could live with 3 instead of 4 had it been presented originally. So that's kind of one statement. The other side to that is even on the new building, you still have to do the architectural accoutrements that match the rest of the downtown area. And that's where this building becomes important, because we have a vacant lot sitting here behind the hotel that eventually is gonna have a building put up on it. And when that building comes in front of us, I've seen the very first drawing that the gentleman who owns that property showed me his original idea for the new building there. And at the time I told him, I said, that won't fly, because it has to have the elongated windows, because it has to have the accoutrements on the top, because even though it's a brand new building in the district, it still has to fit in to the district. So what's sitting in front of us is, when you talk about the arches on the top and stuff, those have to be there. And if we don't do that here, then I'm afraid we put the village in jeopardy with the next builder that says you didn't make them do it. So that's a part of that issue. Whether it's 3 windows or 4, yes, you submitted that, you should get that. That's what you paid an architect to do, and that's what you paid this builder to do. And I'm surprised you don't have a lawsuit. I mean, I heard you, it takes money. But that would have been the first thing I would have done, was file a lawsuit against this guy. But I would have been there watching him build my building, and I would have been like, where's my middle window? Where's my other window? Obviously, those things didn't happen because we're here. So it's a mixed bag of how we can go forward on this. The 3 windows versus 4 is truly a new building. You could have made that argument, presented that, and done that. At the same time, those arches and stuff, those need to be there. And that becomes not an issue of your building solely, but it sets us up for the next building that's gonna come and replace the other lot. Because his drawing had none of that. And I told him then, I said, you won't be able to do it. You're gonna have to have the window dressings, the accoutrements, because you have to fit into the town. He had the traditional, they weren't long, narrow windows, they were, you know what I'm talking about. And I said, those windows won't be allowed because they don't conform to what's in the historic district. So he's gonna have to go back and modify. It's the same thing that we have with the building on the corner of Battle Alley that went and did his own repair work and didn't follow the rules, while we held other people to the letter of the law. And it becomes an issue. So it is a little perplexing. And then with what Doug brought up, you've got these grants that were approved, and I'm gonna guess that part of that approval was the submission of the architectural drawings. So my question there is, what
So
are they
they have
gonna-
to be, MEDC has to be approached about it as well. But I do not have, there's no grant money in my hand.
No, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard you
All
say
right.
that.
But you can draw from it, correct? Is that what?
No.
what- I mean, what's the
no.
$1.3 million investment through the government? What was that grant?
That, I can answer that. I heard your
Okay.
answer.
I'd appreciate
That is a totality of her money, insurance money, and grant money, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you spent $500,000. So
Yeah.
is it fair to say, Andrea, that we just need to deduct that from the 1.3 million?
Yeah.
So there's 800,000 left?
No, there's insurance that would come off of that.
You know,
The
well, I'm just
insurance
trying to
is-
figure out, you know, is there money to fix this mistake? You know, again, and I'm with Mr.
Well,
Colas, I'm with the
and I
chairman.
don't know how much it's gonna cost to fix,
Well, I don't, but
you
I'm
know,
also with
and
Mr. Chairman
that's,
that there,
we'll have to
this
research.
seems like you should be pursuing that builder in a legal forum.
I mean, he had this
I-
blueprint to build, and he built
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know, I would think that you would be in front of that court first instead of this board. But,
I think-
you know, I'm not sure, you know, I'm not sure what you were hoping to just avoid maybe the headache,
No, I
I guess.
wanted to know what was needed in this situation. I found myself in this situation. How do I,
It's my
what do I need to
opinion
do?
that you as the developer and boss of the project dropped the ball and that you should probably hold the builder accountable for what he didn't do.
So, Mr. Nishki, we have a couple of questions in front of us. I've made my statement on the fact that it's the new part of the building. 3 windows versus 4 probably could have been allowed if it was part of the original. My bigger concern is, it's my understanding we have the Michigan Economic Development involved. That's where the grant came from. I don't want this, I would hate to have this commission make a decision that would then, for any reason, make that grant null and void. Because if the grant was approved based on this, that may change this whole ballgame. Unfortunately, she's been bounced around like a pinball through this stuff, and I don't want to be another part of her pinball machine. I don't want our commission or the village to be part of that.
Yeah, I don't think
I
any
think
of
we
us
have
do.
some other, are you following me?
I'm following you, I understand, I'm just,
Well, I think we need,
I'm looking for the question or.
so the
what you're
question is, I
thinking of,
think
what
we,
you look-
I
what you
think we
from
need to,
me.
she has made the statement that she has not received the grant. If the grant's approved on this drawing, and we change things, does that then change or jeopardize the grant? I know you don't know the answer, but I think those answers need to be,
I think if you, it's the approval of the commission.
right. Well,
Because if you think, if that is acceptable, if it's not acceptable, then I go a different direction.
so I think it's fair to say, as a commission, we could approve the 3 instead of 4. But we need the arches on the building, because that's part of the historic district. So it's kind of a yes and a no in the request, if that makes sense to you.
I
again, I
I don't know
am
if
not
those were
familiar with
there.
that particular grant program, for one.
These
And for
ones.
two,
No, I understand.
I understand where you're going.
But I
mean, I'm just-
think Andrea and I think you need to reach out to them, because we don't want to jeopardize her getting that money.
We have a conference call with MEDC next Wednesday that we will be discussing this stuff with her. So that is the next step that we have, is a call already scheduled.
So I think you need to present this to them and say, here's what's happened.
Oh, absolutely.
And at the same time, I think
Yeah.
one of the questions would be, if we go after this builder, that's a lawsuit, that's gonna mean more money. They may, I just think you need their input before you get ours. Because I don't want our input to jeopardize something.
What, I'm trying not to delay this any more than we have to.
I hear you.
Is there a way, because the compromise I was hoping for was, let's leave the number of windows and location. I have a brick mason that can add the archtop detail. If that's an acceptable compromise, I think that would help Andrea. I think that would be, and then the question is, if you guys are okay with that and the MEDC is okay with that, we can then move forward.
Well, even if we wanted to do that, we don't have any drawings to approve. We have to have drawings to approve. We approved these drawings and they didn't appear.
I've
So
got
that's
the
a fail.
architect on standby. I'm waiting for the results of this meeting. I told him I would talk to him
So you're-
tomorrow.
So I would amend your application with the new drawings and bring it back.
And I
You
think,
can't approve-
Well,
I think
guess
you've
the
approved
issue was,
paperwork.
we have to wait another month, though.
well, but I think you've heard our opinion here.
Right, I understand.
So I think
And that's why we're here.
three instead of four, I think,
Yeah.
is doable. Arches is still required.
Okay?
I would go for having them put it all back.
Well, that's my concern, and that's why I said, when you get into these grants, they approved it based on one thing. This is a game changer, and I don't want to jeopardize your grant. I think we need to go back to them first and say, here's our situation, what do you want us to do? Because we don't want to lose the grant. You can go back and say, we've already met with the HDC.
Yeah.
Because it's a new piece of the building, 3 windows instead of 4 is workable, but we understand we do need to replace the arches and the covers on the doors, and, you know, whatever those accoutrements are. That being said, I would think for this board would be to postpone this based on your findings from that meeting. I think unfortunately we have, while it appears we have the cart in front of the horse, I think it was good to talk to us first, so you know going in what we're looking at. Does that
Mr.
make
Chairman,
sense?
is it fair to say that this applicant is asking right now for a certificate of approval for the work that is currently done, right here?
Yes, which we know we
Okay, so how are we adjourning that, or, I mean, clearly, we can't approve that.
correct.
And so I think that's where we're at, is we're going to end this meeting, it would be my opinion, that we won't be able to approve this, and then, as Mr. Chairman said, you'll have to take the matter back to where you get this money at to make sure that, you know, how particular they are about these plans and the money they're giving you. That's important. You know, like I said, RAP is for revitalization and placemaking. Placemaking, you know, a small town like this, we placemake by, you know, exploiting our history. It's all we have. And of course, if we allowed everybody to just do things like this, we eventually would have just a modern town, like any old modern
And
town.
I think you can appreciate, like I said, I don't want to do anything to jeopardize that grant.
Sure.
That's important to her. And I know that grants can be very particular about how things are done. And for all you know, you may go back to the grant and they may go, no, this has to be all done like this.
Right.
And at which point then, you know, your option then becomes that lawsuit.
Sure. So I want to be clear, because if we do engage the architect
Let me
to
ask you
redraw
this.
this.
You're a contractor.
Yes, sir.
As a contractor, how the hell does that happen?
I don't have a good answer for that.
That's my point, and neither do we. I mean, because it's like,
Yeah.
Ms.
I mean, it's not, gee, we put it 16 inches left or right.
Right.
It's like, we didn't look at these at all and just built what we wanted to build.
Right. So from my understanding going forward, the architect's on standby, he's waiting for me to tell him what he needs to do with the drawings. I don't want to waste time or waste another month, so if we come back to you with drawings where the windows are in the current location, but we've added the arch tops that were approved, will that be acceptable to this committee?
That's predicated on you're gonna have the conversation with the grantor.
Correct, correct. So
So
if the
I think-
MEDC is okay with that,
I think we need their answer,
yep,
because I don't want to put Andrea through anything more,
I don't either.
because we made a decision and
Right.
it screwed it all up.
So predicated on the MEDC approval and the corrected architectural drawings where we have these number of windows in these locations and we add the archtop detail that it had historically, is that acceptable for your group?
I don't think as a commission we can make that decision.
I don't either.
It's not even on the
It's not-
agenda, it's
not-
not, it's
we
not
can't
written down,
do
we
that.
have, no, we can't do that.
This month. We have to have paper, we
We
have
could
to.
probably hold another meeting, but I can't
You know-
give you a yes or no and then change your plans with no
Kurt-
plans in front of me.
Kurt, when we had that meeting that I was a part of, that led to this meeting, the one thing that I didn't understand was that she had not received the grant money yet. I wasn't aware of that, and I think that plays into it. I also wasn't aware of the numbers of windows I was aware of, and that's what I talked about. The other accoutrements, but moreover that grant, the fact that she's not received that money, I don't want us or the village to do anything that jeopardizes that, because those things can be very specific.
There's also in that total is a loan from Metro Community.
Yeah, the
So
1.3
there's
was the
A lot of
total.
different funding.
It was inclusive of everything, but I know the grant was 400 and some thousand,
Correct.
yeah.
But that is also not only for the building, but all of the guts of the building too. HVAC, electrical,
Right,
plumbing,
sure,
all of that.
I understand.
Mrs.
And
Chapman?
as far as this being a modern building, I have to disagree with you on that too. Because I could have just, put up a wooden building.
Well, we can
This is
argue,
4 years in the making.
but it's not,
I'm not arguing.
it's not what you brought before the commission and had approved.
That I agree.
That's all I'm, implying.
All right,
I'm just trying to get a sense for what the answer is going to be if we come before you with MEDC approval, new architectural drawings, with the arch tops.
I think you've heard what the issues are. I think I've made that fairly
Yeah.
clear. Does anybody on the commission have anything else?
We
to
can
add
only
to
make
that?
those decisions in real time.
Yes.
That's it,
Ms. Chapman, I have a question. I know you were saying there were no funds to go after previous contractor and things
Correct.
like that. There are attorneys out there that you can have a free consultation with, and they will, give you advice. Some attorneys, depending on the ones you go to, some will do pro bono work because it's a historic building. If you find, there are attorneys that deal with just historic buildings, in places like that. You just have to research to find them. So I would definitely don't rule out
Oh, it
if you
wasn't.
felt there was a
Andrea,
mistake.
I'm going to
look
reach out to
into
a
it.
couple of the people within the Michigan Historic Preservation Network and see if we have a lawyer that might be willing to help you out.
Ron might know.
Well, I'm going to reach out to him, and I'm going to reach out to a couple of other people. But I just don't think,
Don't let it go.
we can't approve anything tonight. But
Okay.
let's get some of those other ducks in a row
Okay.
before we come back to this. Because it's on the agenda, does somebody want to make a motion and we can vote?
I make a motion that we do not accept,
To vote on the agenda?
no,
For the agenda item.
okay.
You can,
That's good.
you can make a motion to approve, and then we all vote no, or
Yeah.
you can make a motion not to approve, and we all vote yes.
I'm going to make a motion not to approve.
Okay.
I'll second the motion not to approve the current agenda, or motion,
Current agenda item.
item, excuse me. Yes.
Are you okay? Motion by Turpinning, support by Grosvenor,
So what was the motion?
That
to
we
not approve
Okay.
the certificate of appropriateness. Stacy, roll call, please.
Cullis.
No?
Turpinning.
Wait.
No,
It's the opposite
Opposite.
logic.
Oh, you're right. Back up, yes. We're voting to not approve,
Because
yes.
Turpinning.
yes,
McKinney.
Yes.
Hutton.
Yes.
Grosvenor.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes to not approve, 5-0. All right, thank you.
So I have to put in another application.
You won't have to file a fee, we'll just bring it back.
Yeah, this is updated.
All right, see you in September.
okay.
Well, we'll be in contact.
I'm sorry.
Can you leave me with your phone number?
Oh, you want my number? 810?
Wait a minute.
You're online.
We're not gonna vote our phones now.
No, where did my pen go?
I took-
Oh, you
I
took it.
borrowed.
I
Ready?
just had a pen. Okay, go ahead.
810-516-5930.
5920?
30.
Oh, 3.
Uh-huh.
All right, thank you. Okay, before I go to the adjournment, Mr. Grosvenor, did you have something you wanted to add?
Gosh, you know, I adore this town. I call it home. I've been here a long time. This will be my last meeting as a commissioner. I am relocating with my partner, who has accepted a job in St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands. So we'll be taking a taking a 2-year, vacation, if you will, that requires her to work. So I'm sad, I will say I'm sad, but excited, about the new journey.
Well, I was going to say,
so
it's hard to have empathy for you, St. Thomas.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Listen, folks, I've enjoyed, I didn't run for office here to seek power. I ran to serve with a purpose, and, I didn't win the seat to council. I lost by 4 votes, but I was fortunate enough to be, appointed to this council, and I've enjoyed having some semblance of a purpose here, and I've enjoyed working with each of you, and so just wanted to say thank you.
Well, I want to tell you, you're going to be missed. I have appreciated your concentration on what we're doing, your willingness to learn.
Yeah, I
what the
probably
ropes are.
would have stayed forever, on this commission and maybe a few others if I stayed. But you know what? If I do come back, this is exactly where we'll be. So,
Yeah. Well,
Thanks.
we wish you luck.
Thank you.
Leave us your number so those of us that come to St. Thomas have somebody to call.
You're about the 40th person now that has said that. but
I'm sure you've had more than one of those offers,
Come one, come all, right?
so. But by the way, if you get real homesick before you get there, there is a St. Thomas in Pennsylvania.
He's got jokes. You got jokes.
It's not as nice as the others.
Right. It's a budget Caribbean,
Okay, and I guess that will allow us to complete this at 7:09.
Oh, we don't have another public comment? I wanted to say something.
Public comment.
There isn't one on the agenda. You can say it after we close.
Oh, I do have,
I'll talk to you later.
point of order.
Oh, board, do you have a board comment?
Yeah, I have a point of order. Is this going to be the second Thursday of the month? It has to be, yeah.
It's gonna be that,
this was a mistake.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's just
Well,
because,
it was so confusing because Mr. Nitschke was convinced that today was the 8th.
yeah,
And we're like, no.
okay, so,
That wasn't convinced, I was hoping.
all right,
So, okay, so yeah, it is, the
Okay.
meeting is typically the second Thursday of the month. Like I said, I wouldn't have been here either. My wife's the
know.
one that saw it, and said, you have a meeting.
all right.
Okay. Then we're officially out at 7:09.
All right.
He's out. Well.
Thank you.
What?
Thank you very much.
Except for a minute anyway.
Mics are live.
I'll see you shortly.